Gold, a metal that has captured the human heart since its first contact with it at least 50 centuries ago. Despite the passage of time, the fascination with gold is not decreasing at all. On the contrary, it is growing as well as its price. In today's episode, I invite you to a list of 10 facts about gold that you might not have known about. Number 10. According to geologists, almost all the gold that is currently on Earth does not come from Earth, but from space. It came across it during meteorite storms that took place about 4 billion years ago, when the Earth was bombarded by numerous gold-bearing meteorites and asteroids. So it is safe to say that this gold chain you wear around your neck is a kind of space traveler. Number 9. According to estimates by the U.S. Geological Survey, there are approximately 50,000 tons of mineable gold remaining in the Earth's crust. Considering that mankind has already mined about 200,000 tons to date, this means that only 20% of the known reserves of the ore remain underground. To put it into perspective, if all the gold mined so far were to be pooled together, it would fit into a 6-story apartment block shaped like a cube. Now imagine a fifth of that block. That's how much gold remains to be mined. Number 8. Gold is the most malleable metal known to man. 1 ounce of gold, or the aforementioned bar, could be used to form a lobe of about 15 square meters, or even to luxury micro-apartments in Warsaw for rent, or stretched into a sewing thread 5 kilometers long. At the same time, gold is one of the densest, and therefore heaviest, metals in the world. The gold cube, measuring 5 by 5 by 5 centimeters, weighs almost 2.5 kilograms. If you poured gold into a half-liter bottle of Coca-Cola, it would weigh nearly 10 kilograms. Number 7. There are about 0.2 milligrams of gold in the body of a 70-kilogram adult. Also, as you can see, we carry a visitor from outer space not only on us, but also in us. If there were any technological possibility of extracting this gold, especially since it has no significant biological function in our bodies, at the current gold price of $2,700, we would get about 7 cents for it. Also, as you can see, not even enough for a rubber ball. Number 6. Gold as a precious metal not only does not irritate our skin, but is also edible. Many upscale restaurants add it to their food and drinks, including cakes, wines, and even sushi. 1 gram of edible gold currently costs about $85. Its consumption is not associated with any health benefits. Not only that, gold has neither taste nor smell. No wonder, then, that the fashion for eating gold spread only in the 21st century with the advent of social media, in which, after all, taste, as well as smell, do not matter in the least. The only thing that matters is to brag about eating a golden steak for a few thousand, even if it is the most ordinary steak in the world. Number 5. You hear so much about the gold rush, but few people know that there were many gold rushes. By far the most famous of these was the California one. It was initiated by a certain John Marshall, who in 1848, while building a sawmill near Sacramento, spotted a small glowing gold nugget. Despite his attempt to keep the discovery a secret, the news spread anyway. Interestingly, it was not the gold prospectors themselves who made the most money from the rush, but speculators, like a certain San Francisco trader who, moments after the discovery, bought up all the spades and screens in the area, then sold them to amateurs at a price several dozen times inflated. The real fever began, however, when the President and Congress learned of the gold discovery. As a result of propaganda, it is estimated that as many as 100,000 people were drawn to California in 1849 alone, not only from the East Coast, but from all over the world. The discovery of gold in California greatly accelerated the settlement of Western America. Previously, California was just a remote, uninviting province. Number 4. The large, heavy, distinctive gold bars that are constantly shown in movies are to some extent an invention in Hollywood. But this is not because such bars do not exist. It's just that in practice, mainly smaller 1-ounce bars are used every day in the industry. Large, 12-kilogram bars, the so-called good delivery bars, are mainly used by central banks or large international exchanges. However, watching Hollywood movies, one gets the impression that by literally everyone, which is actually quite unrealistic, given that one such bar currently costs more than $1 million. Have you ever seen criminals steal those cute 1-ounce bars in any movie? Plus, still in their original packaging, the way most people store them, they just wouldn't look as spectacular. Number 3. For centuries, Alchemists from all over the world tried to obtain gold by so-called homemade means. They believed that this precious bullion could be produced by performing a so-called transmutation, that is, converting another metal, such as lead, into gold. The twilight of alchemy came in the 17th century with the development of modern chemistry and the realization that magically transforming lead into gold was virtually impossible. Theoretically today, it is possible and, I should say more, supposedly very simple. For a volume of lead, it is allegedly enough to remove 3 protons and for neutrons. Unfortunately, this type of operation, possible only in a particle gas pedal, which medieval alchemists unfortunately did not have, would have required such enormous energy, which medieval alchemists also did not have, that its cost would have far exceeded the value of the gold obtained. Number 2. The world's largest statue made entirely of gold is located in Bangkok at Wat Tramat Temple and depicts a seated Buddha. The 3-meter-tall golden Buddha weighs more than 5 tons and, leaving aside its inestimable historical value, piecing together history and all that stuff, is worth more than $400 million. Interestingly, the fact that the 13th-14th century statue is made of gold was only discovered in 1955 completely by accident, when a thick layer of plaster with which the golden Buddha had been covered for the past 200 years fell off during relocation, most likely to protect it from looting during wars. Number 1. Researchers at the Federal Institute of Water Science and Technology in Switzerland have shown that nearly $2 million worth of gold is flowing in Swiss wastewater. According to the researchers, up to 43 kilograms of gold could be recovered annually from wastewater in some regions of the canton of Ticino. That's up to 4 1-ounce gold bars a day. That is, of course, if someone were able to fish them out at all, separate them from the other stuff floating in the sewage, and lump them together. After all that gold is just microscopic residue, most likely from nearby gold refineries. See you in the next videos on the channel.